Hello, thank you for your interest in learning more about Magnet, a network that's emerging in the province of Ontario to address youth unemployment and underemployment. We're going to go through a quick PowerPoint first, and we're going to talk about some of the challenges that we face in communities. My name is Mark Patterson. I'm the Director of Research Partnerships at Ryerson University, and I've also been the Director of the Career Center here in the Ted Rogers School of Management. In that role, I was responsible for over 10,000 students, their career development, placement, and the development of employer partnerships. And we had a lot of challenges understanding and getting insight into our community. So we had a lot of employers that wanted to connect with specific groups of our students, and yet we had a hard time understanding beyond year and the number of students in a program how we could connect those employers and other opportunity providers to our students. Another challenge that youth are facing and new immigrants are facing is that there's been a massive proliferation of job boards in the marketplace, so there's a lot of confusion about where people should go to look for jobs and where employers should post jobs. Another issue is engagement of students. So how do we get people's attention? And it's not just students, but we all face this with our communities and the organizations and the individuals that we serve. How do we get people's attention? There's just so much information out there nowadays, and getting information to the right people that will value that information has become even more critical. Another challenge that we've identified here at the university is how do we connect small and medium-sized enterprises, those companies that don't necessarily have campus recruitment teams, to individuals that they would want to connect to. So again, how do we connect all of the great small and medium-sized employers in the province to be to our communities and to enable them to recruit more efficiently and more effectively. So first of all, what Magnet is. Magnet is a not-for-profit initiative in the province of Ontario, currently funded by the province of Ontario, and it's been founded by Ryerson University and the Ontario Chambers of Commerce. There are many other partners, as you'll find out in the rest of this presentation, that have joined this network, and we're really trying to address the issues and remove some of the challenges in connecting individuals to employment and other opportunities. So first of all, we start with any community and invite its individual members to participate. This may be a college or university inviting its students or individuals to participate, or it might be a social service agency in any community in our province or country that would be looking to serve its members better and to connect them to opportunities. So individuals build profiles. We then have a community opportunity portal where opportunity holders, people that are looking to recruit, for example, candidates for jobs, or maybe have other opportunities like scholarships, funding opportunities, or anything else that an individual in your community might value, that they could connect to your members quickly. What we like to say is we can actually make jobs or opportunities chase people. Because we have the detailed profiles in our communities, we can enable opportunity providers to find the right people quickly and direct their communications directly to them. Another interesting point for any of the organizations is that we collect all of the information on both the demand side, which is the individuals, which is the community opportunities, and on the supply side, which is the individuals in our communities that we're serving. So what we have is the ability to provide analytics as well and provide insight into the individuals in your community, and also what types of opportunities are connecting to those individuals. And we can actually aggregate that insight into geographic regions and areas. So for example, it could be in a city where we have multiple organizations that are partnered with us, and we could actually provide overall insight for the economic developers in that region, for the municipality, and so on. So to make a much more effective and efficient community and engage people more effectively in opportunities. So we have lots of partners that have been joining. We officially launched in late September of 2014. We have employers, government, schools, employment agencies, and many professional associations that are joining this network, and it's bringing everybody together in one giant network to better serve our communities. So just to give you an idea, currently we have over 20 colleges and universities in Ontario. There's over 55 partners representing different agencies that work with people to help them with employment, the Ontario Chambers of Commerce that are representing 65,000 businesses in 160 communities across the province. We have over 30,000 individuals that have signed up into the system. We're funded by the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities, and we have many other partnerships like the Conference Board of Canada, ITAC, the National Association of Career Colleges, etc. So you'll see here some of the colleges and university partners, some of our community partners, other workforce development and community partners across the province of Ontario, and other network partners that we're working with. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to actually just jump right into the system and give you a quick demo of how this actually works. So what happens when any organization, like the organization you represent, signs up, we provide that organization with a custom landing page. We provide them with the technology, and we provide an activity dashboard so the organization sees who is signing up and how many people and employers are engaging through the system. But we provide a landing page, and what happens, so I'll just pick one of the landing pages here of one of our partners, which happens to be Goodwill in Toronto, Eastern, Central, and Northern Ontario. And what happens is Goodwill would use collateral provided by Magnet to engage their members to sign up for a user account. They would come to this page and they would sign up through this page. Once they sign up and authenticate their account, they would actually be in the system, and they'd get a welcome screen with a video. So we're just going to look for a resume on my computer here and upload that resume into the system to get a head start at building a profile. And you can see just that quickly the resume has come in, and now it's been uploaded. And you can see all of the information that has come from the resume into the system. If you look over on the right, you'll notice that it says there are 3 more required fields and 3 more recommended fields. If we hit on the complete them now, then we can actually go in and add this additional information, which will produce a highly searchable profile. So we see the first one says work eligibility. Going to click on that. You can see it takes us to the basic profile section. You can see all of the other information that's been added in because of uploading the resume, but you see that the work eligibility field is red. So I can actually just start typing in the field and start typing UNI, and it comes up, and I can actually add in maybe I'm eligible to work in the United States or the United Kingdom. I can also then add a recommended field, which is my language, so the languages I speak. So I could maybe add Mandarin or any other language that I can speak at a proficiency level that I could use in work. And you can see these little information tabs provide all kinds of information that individuals can reference if they have any questions about a specific field. So again, now this section is complete. I'm going to save it, and you'll look back up in the profile completion section, and you'll see that there are only 2 more required fields. We're going to go to degree undergraduate. You'll notice that it actually picked up from this resume that the person had a degree. It would pick up any other kind of educational record and start a separate record if that was relevant to the resume I had uploaded. You can see that it picked up that it was an undergrad degree, that it was a Bachelor of Engineering, but it did not pick up the main faculty or focus area, and that's likely because it was not clearly indicated on the resume. So I can just start typing, and this person, for example, may have been a mechanical engineer, or it could have been an aerospace engineer, and we can add that into the main focus area. Just to let people see, the taxonomies in the system are relevant to all fields. So for example, I just put in community services and social work, and I could focus on public health within that field. So the taxonomies are complete across all types of education. And you can see here, as we go a little bit further down, it's picked up the institution name, so it picked up that this person attended and completed this educational record at Ryerson. It's prompting them to fill in their current status, so we'll fill that in. And it has an option here for people to add a special project. That could be their master's thesis, it could be anything else that they want to highlight during this educational record. And we're not going to add that for the sake of time today, but we'll just save. And then you can see on the right it says 1 more required field. So we're actually going to click into that, and we can see here as we scroll down that it's picked up all of the information that was on the resume. But what's really important and what we want to do is to contextualize that experience even more so that it's highly searchable and valuable, not only to us as an organization owner to gain insight into the individuals that we're serving, but also to the employer or the opportunity provider that may be trying to contact this individual. So an individual may be able to say that in this role they provide a skilled trade or service, or they worked within a function in an organization. So in this case, this person worked within the engineering function. So they would put in engineering. They actually worked on design and drafting and drawing within the engineering department. And they had specific skills. So again, we're contextualizing this even further. And they maybe had, for example, CAD 2D and CAD 3D skills. So again, we know now that this person had CAD 2D and 3D when they were working in the engineering function, focusing on design and drafting in this company, and so on. The other thing that we ask is what type of work experience? Was it contract, or was it a full-time or part-time role? How was the individual compensated? What was the budget responsibility, if any? How many direct reports did the person maybe have? And this could be relevant even to a student who perhaps is working at a retail job or managing a group of counselors at a camp in the summer. It becomes really relevant from a standpoint of gaining managerial experience. We also ask things like revenue responsibility, which again can be very relevant when an employer is looking to connect to somebody. We also contextualize the employer info. So who was it that this person was working for when they received this experience? So you'll see that it picked up from the resume the name and the location, but it's looking for the employer type. So was it public, private, or not-for-profit? How many employees? It's contextualized as the size of the company, but also gives us context to the level of experience and so on that this person had, because being for example, a vice president in a small company could be a very different experience than being a vice president in a larger company. We also asked the employer industry. So this person actually worked in the engineering services industry, and they did design and drafting work in the automotive sector. So we can just add that in, and again, that provides really, really valuable context to the system. So we're just going to save that. And I guess I had one more thing that I need to fill out in the educational record, and it was just prompting me to provide an optional letter grade, but that's recommended. So we put that in and save, and you'll notice that all of the editing is done, that we have a highly searchable profile. Now the individual has the opportunity to add any kind of digital media or materials to this profile. It can become a full portfolio. For the sake of time, we won't show it here, but we'll show you one a little bit later on that has some video and other things embedded in it. So I also want to point out that individuals are able to come to this system and able to search jobs across North America. There are approximately 5 million active jobs in the system across North America that people can search. But the whole point of the system is not to create another job board. It's actually, because we have these detailed profiles, it's to have opportunities chase people who have built these detailed profiles. So individuals will receive custom invites in their communication channel of choice. So if they are coming into the system, they can check it in the communication section I'm showing you now, or they can have those highly targeted communications directed to their email, and in the future to their text messages and other channels of communication, which is a really important point. But it's not, like I said, we have a job board functionality, but the purpose of the system really is, and I would stress, to make qualified opportunities chase people that are qualified and have the skills and experiences for those opportunities. So I'm going to show you now, we've taken a very quick look at the user side, but I'm going to take you over and show you how a small employer or a large employer even would use the system, or how you as an organization administrator could actually use the system to be connecting to your the individuals that you serve in your community. So First of all, we'll show you how an employer would post a job. So I won't go through all the steps, but it's just as easy as it is to build a profile on the user side. An employer can come in and simply point and click and indicate the preferences, the experiences, and the education records that they want in their ideal candidates. So you can see that this posting, which has already been built, is looking for very specific skills. It's also looking for very specific experience and educational requirements. The employer can attach any kind of media, so it could be videos or anything else, to the opportunity to promote the opportunity. We have some regions in Ontario that are using the system and will be using the system to promote the region where they want to attract people to move and settle and take jobs in the region. So it could be some tourism videos from the city or from the region or town that they're trying to attract top talent to. So anything the employer actually wants to post, we can actually, the employer, as they build the posting, what's really interesting, you'll notice, they've built this posting, and as they're building it, it will actually show them how many qualified candidates exist in the system. So I want to make one really important point. One of the biggest challenges employers face when posting a job is getting overwhelmed potentially with unqualified candidates. With this, we know that we're only going out to qualified candidates based on how we built the posting. So everybody that this system returns in this 99 qualified candidates will have all the mandatory things the employer is looking for, and will have various levels of the preferred things that the employer is looking for. The employer can actually go in and see the detail of each candidate. You'll notice that they're still anonymous at this time, but they can see how these candidates actually match up. They can modify their posting if they like. Once they're happy with the posting and the number of individuals that it's going to, then they can actually activate that posting, and it goes out for the set period of time that they want the posting active. Once people receive, so if one of those 99 people, they'll receive the communication in their communication channel of choice, as we showed you on the user side, and they may choose to apply. And if they choose to apply, then what will happen is it will actually show up in a queue for the employer in the system to show all of the candidates from the qualified pool that have actually expressed interest in applying for the job. So the employer now has 3 candidates that they know are qualified and are interested in the position. You'll notice that 2 of them are still anonymous. The first one I've actually already connected to. But let's take a look at the second one in the list. So this person's applied, they've expressed interest. I can actually see a summary of the skills that I was requesting in the posting and how they match up to those skills. I can click on their online resume, and you'll notice that there's a full resume here. There's something different about this resume. It doesn't have the location that the person took their degree, and it doesn't have the location of the employer. It does have all of the experience and so on within the posting, but it does not have the location. And we do this for a reason. It's to make these redacted profiles are anonymous until the employer actually chooses to connect, but it provides all of the information that an employer would need to make an informed decision about a candidate. When the employer decides to connect, they simply hit this connect button and they can proceed, and they'll actually find the full online resume. As you can see now, it shows all of the information about the individual, all of the location, for example, where they went to school, and all of the collateral that that candidate has chosen to put in their portfolio to express their value as a candidate. So they're able to attach video, and they're able to attach photos and build a full portfolio resume. One of the things that we like to point out at this stage is that we're finding this to be very valuable because it's actually reducing early stage bias in candidate acquisition. The employer knows that this person has the skills, and they make the choice to connect to them, and we're finding it's having a significant impact, especially with new immigrant communities and others that are highly skilled for the jobs, and yet may not be connecting to them. So Again, this is the employer side. I'm going fairly quickly here, but that's an example of how an employer can come in instead of posting a job on a job board and getting overwhelmed with applications. They can actually come into the system, do a targeted job promotion, and actually receive candidates that have expressed interest from a qualified pool and connect to them very quickly and very effectively. And what does that give you? Because remember I mentioned at the very start that we're tracking both sides of that. What does that give you as a organization administrator, or somebody that's interested, for example, in gaining more insight into their communities? So for us, myself as the Director of Career Services at our business school at Ryerson University, I was very interested in understanding more about both the individuals that I was responsible for, but also the opportunities that we're connecting with them. So what I'm about to show you now is what we call the Insight Dashboard. This is something that we do actually charge for. It's a very reasonable fee, and we're happy to provide more information if you're interested. There is another dashboard that's called the Activity Dashboard that you would get absolutely for free. And to be clear, you can actually join this initiative for free as a community-based not-for-profit organization. We're trying to support all of our community organizations, but this Insight Dashboard is extremely valuable, and it may be something that your community or your organization would like to look at. So we're happy to provide more information on that, and we'll have other webinars that specifically talk about this in the near future. So what I'm going to do is actually show you how this works, and you can see that there's a supply side and a demand side. So what I want to do, the supply side will show me insight into the individuals in my organization. So I'm showing you the Ryerson University dashboard now, and I can go in and actually pick a subset of my student populations by all of these different criteria that you're looking at here. And we could actually build a really granular search. I'm going to do a fairly simple one for now. I'm going to go in and pick undergraduate degree. I'm going to find all of the business students, all focus areas, and I'm actually going to add in as well all of the engineering students, all focus areas. We're going to look for students that are attending Ryerson University, and we're going to look for students in either first or second year. And then we're actually just going to graph that and see how many people that will give us. So just wait a second, and we can see that there's 1,976 individuals that fit that. So they're first or second year students pursuing a degree, undergraduate in business, any focus area, or engineering, any focus area, and attending Ryerson University. So you can see there's 1,976 individuals. I'm actually going to go in, and what I want to do is actually set some plot data so we can have some graphs. I'm going to go into basic information. I want to see where these 1,976 individuals, what are the top 10 locations that they're from, what are the top 10 languages that they speak, who are all of the employers that they've worked at in the past or currently, so we can do cumulative or current analysis. I'm going to look at what are the top 10 employers. And we're actually just going to go down to education, and we'll pick the top 10 focus areas that those students are focusing on. But as you can see, there's many other options. I'm just showing you a really simple search and doing this very quickly, but we can do very granular analysis of our student populations. We can actually set a time frame where we can actually analyze over time, so we can see how skills are trending. But for this demonstration, we'll just do a quick plot of the information that I chose. We'll just wait a second and the graphs will come up. So we have the original 1,976 individuals, and we have the locations that they're from. As you might expect, Toronto, Brampton, Scarborough, and so on. The languages that they speak, so French, Cantonese, Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, Mandarin, Tamil, Russian, and so on. And I would point out that we can export these, so I'm showing you graphs of the top 10, but we can export this data to a CSV file as well and do more granular analysis there. We can see here this graph is showing the employers, the top 10 employers of those 1,976 students. So Ryerson University has a lot of work-study students, so when students first come into the university, and if they're getting OSAP or student aid, they're actually able to apply for work-study positions on campus. And you can see that a lot of the students have been employees of Canada's Wonderland, Tim Hortons, Walmart, and so on. And as you might expect, there's a very long tail in this, so again, we're only graphing the top 10 in this example. And here you can see the focus areas that they're focusing in their degree. So again, very quickly, that's a very quick demonstration of the power of the insight on the supply side. We can actually do the same thing on the demand side. So I can actually go in and we could pick by employer name, by job location, compensation type or language requirements, work experience requirements, educational requirements, and so on. So I could actually just quickly pick undergraduate degree, for example, and just show the frequency of jobs that have come into the Ryerson community with the system. And you can see that there are 714 recent postings that have come into the university. And again, we could drill much further down, but for the sake of time, I just want to show you quickly. And what's really interesting to us is that we can actually start to analyze what are the intersections between supply and demand. This could have all kinds of implications for the university, for curriculum, for tracking both supply and demand in the system. So again, that's kind of a quick overview of all three sides of the system. I'm going to take you quickly back to one PowerPoint here to just again reframe this. So we've showed you the individual profiling, how individuals in your community can quickly build profiles. These profiles are private, and the individuals control when they want to release these opportunities, or sorry, these profiles to any opportunities. There's a community opportunity portal, and we track all of the information and provide community organizations, groups, and regions, and potentially even the province with labor market information that shows real-time supply and demand, either at the organization level, municipality level, or any greater level of aggregation. So once again, thank you very much for your time today. That's been a quick overview of what Magnet is. We're very interested in working with any of you organizations that see value in understanding their community and the people that they serve better, and contributing to an initiative that is really starting to address not only youth unemployment and underemployment, but all forms of unemployment and underemployment in our communities across the province of Ontario. And we're very excited that we'll be launching soon across Canada as well. So thank you very much for listening to the presentation today. And if you have any other questions, please go to www.magnet.today and fill out a contact form, and we'd be happy to provide you with more information.